Once you've taken your LineSmarts photo, it takes you through to the span info page. And the span info page is there so that you can define the span that you're measuring. Now, the first information that you enter in is the distance to the left and the right pole. In this case, it's already been entered, and what I'll often do is when I'm out on site taking LineSmarts measurements, the only information I'll put in is the distance to the left and right pole, because the rest of the processing can often be done at a later time. So yeah, you can just click into the field and enter the distances. Now, just something about the distances, that those distances can be measured in lots of different ways. You can use a measuring tape, you can pace it out, use a measuring wheel or a laser rangefinder. You can even guess, but obviously depending on the accuracy of your measurements, will be the accuracy of your calculated tensions and so on from LineSmarts. If you're using a laser rangefinder, you can often select between using a horizontal distance or an inclined distance. And I often use the horizontal. It's a lot handier. What it means is that if you're using the horizontal distance to a pole, and the pole is vertical, it doesn't matter where you measure to on the pole. It'll be the same horizontal distance. And that's helpful for when you're identifying where you've measured to on the pole, because it then doesn't matter. And so I'll show you that now. You see this image here has got a red border around it, and that means that we haven't identified the poles yet. So if I click on the image, and we can zoom in on the pole. So first of all, we'll go for the left pole, and so I'm just using my fingers to zoom in, and if I click on that pole, it puts a target there, and I want to get it in the center of the pole, so I'll just move that over. And then on the top here, you can see we can switch to the right pole. We can zoom out, and another way of zooming in is you can double tap, and so that's a quicker way of zooming in. We can put it across there. So if we were using an inclined slipe distance and we'd measured it using a laser rangefinder, we might have to click further up the pole or wherever we'd measured to using our laser rangefinder. Once you've got these two positions located, you can select the back button on the top left. And we see in the image that we've got some new lines here. Now if we click on this image, what we can do is we can zoom in again on it, and the blue lines represent the vertical direction. So we can see that these poles here are pretty much vertical. The green lines represent the horizontal direction, and so we can see that the ground from the line on the bottom here is sloping. Anyway, so if we go back again and we look down the bottom, we can see that the span has been calculated as 51.7 meters. So the only thing that you calculate here is that span length. Other information you can add is the pole ID number for the left and the right pole, and they can be used later on for identifying the pole in the file name and so on. We can also record the temperature at which the survey was taken, and this can become the default temperature for the conductors. And we can add notes. So that's it really. That's about it for the span info page. I suppose, except that I just mentioned the delete button. Obviously, you can get rid of the measurements. This is where you can delete your measurements. And also the help will tell you a bit more. And you can also, there's the option up here to be able to export results image. So that is it.